Morning, everyone. Welcome to class. I'm Azaria, and I'm your teacher here at Spiritual Summer School. So, today's lesson is going to be about love, everyone's favorite subject. At least it's my favorite subject, at least. I'm going to teach you how to find love, and this is going to be a way that is not necessarily the popular way or the one that you see portrayed in common media, okay? So if you're looking for a quick, instant gratification, this video is not for you. If you are looking for something that is superficial and something that will only last a little while, that's fine, but this video is not for you. This video is for people who want to find true, unconditional love reflected back to you in another person. And I'm going to teach you how to do that, so stick around if you want to. Now, we've all heard it from everybody else, like, oh, to be able to love somebody else, first you have to love yourself. I want to clarify that because the way that is said is not necessarily accurate to the way that we interpret it as people. Saying that you have to love yourself first before anyone else can love you kind of infers that you are unlovable until you love yourself. This is not correct. The whole point of that phrase, the whole point of that statement is to show you that if you do not love yourself, you will not be able to recognize when someone actually loves you because you do not know what it looks like. That's what we're talking about here. So, to find this unconditional, deep love in somebody else reflected back to you, you will have to be able to recognize it when you see it. Okay, I'm going to read you something from something I wrote. Okay, so this is something that I wrote like a few months ago, not even a few months ago, more than a few months ago. It was this book that I wrote to help make sense of the mess of my mind, okay? So I'm going to read this to you, and it's going to help explain some things. When I am asked if I believe in God, I always say yes. What I want to say is I don't believe in God, I know God. A being so incomprehensible, so inaccessible, so intricate, so inherently unknowable, made themselves known to me, for no other reason but for the fact that they loved me so much that they did the impossible and made themselves comprehensible, accessible, clear, and knowable to me, for me, because I am me. They would do it for anyone or anything that asked. I've been asked 1,000,000 times before, what if you're wrong? What if you're going to hell? What if you're believing a lie? Ask God to meet you at the river or under the weeping willow and tell them that you want them to be made known to you, and I promise you will never ask me such silly questions again. If you cannot see God in the stillness of a boulder, the raging of the sea, or in the eyes of a child, then it begs the question, who are you looking for? If you cannot hear God in the rustling of fallen leaves, the braying of a horse, or the creak of a bed, then it begs the question, who are you listening to? If you cannot feel God in the tears of your grief, the warmth of a fire, or the excitement of the first snow, then again, it begs the question, who are you reaching for? I never found spirit inside the walls of a church, never heard them in the words from the pulpit, never saw them in the pages of ancient scripture, never felt them in the flagellation of begging for forgiveness for the perceived sin of being born. The most significant thing I ever took away from the Bible was the single command to love your neighbor as you love yourself, and it's the one thing I never witnessed among the people who preached it. So, I started there. I started with me, because that's where it all starts. If we're to love others the way we love ourselves, yet we're taught and encouraged to hate ourselves, can you see where that might get a bit tough? You can only meet others at the depth at which you've met yourself, and in tandem, you can only love others at the depth at which you love yourself, because everything you do in the external is a reflection of what is internal. It's basic science. What you put in, you will get out. What you sow is what you reap. I don't find it helpful to tell people how they need to live their lives. Instead, I usually offer an invitation to perhaps try another way of seeing things. But if I were to tell anyone to do anything, it would be to sow a garden of unconditional love, acceptance, grace, forgiveness, and understanding within and for yourself. That way, when you meet God, you will recognize them looking back at you through the eyes of another. And I hope every single person gets to experience something so lovely. So, when you are being told to learn to love yourself, to find this love that you're looking for, this real, this true, unconditional love that exists out in the world, it exists everywhere, It's not because you are unlovable. It's not because you have to earn this love. Learning to love yourself and knowing what that love feels like is for the sole purpose of you being able to recognize it when it approaches you. And in the next part, I'm going to teach you how to do that in the easiest, most simple, down-to-earth way possible, okay? Okay, so now we're going to move on to the how. We know the what. We know what it is that we want. How are we going to get there? This is how we're going to do it. When I started on this journey, when I was 18, I was a mess. I was a complete and absolute mess. And I was just running through all these different processes and techniques and ways of doing things, hoping, praying, desperate to reach this position that I'm currently in now. But if I had known these things before, the process would have been a whole lot fucking easier. So back in 2023, I had finally gotten an apartment in Pittsburgh, and when I reached this destination, I'd finally escaped from the terror that I was living in for a long, long time. I realized that I now knew everything that I did not like. I knew everything I did not love, not everything that I did not want, but I had no idea what I actually loved. So I started with that. And this ties into how to love yourself as well, so just stay tuned. I made the decision to make a list of every single thing that I love, any single time I discovered I loved it. And I wrote it in this journal. I literally wrote a list, like pages and pages long, of just a list of things that I loved, just so I could learn, oh, I do love these things. Like, for instance, some things that I loved in here. Cocoa Krispies and vanilla almond milk, small spoons, when Galileo has to sit on or near any object I'm using, cracking my neck, my apartment, designing spaces, dried or dead flowers. Like anything that I looked at, I'm like, oh, I love that. I wrote it down. This process of writing down abstract things that I love, just random items, allowed my brain to start to be able to recognize the beauty and love in small, mundane things externally, which then in turn led to me being able to recognize those things inside of me as well. But in order for me to be able to love the things that I saw within myself and of myself, I had to first accept them. Okay, I had to accept that those things were there and then choose. I do love those things. At the time, I did not like the way that I looked. I did not like the way that I acted. I did not like the way that I spoke. I did not like the way that I moved through the world, but I accepted it. And I said that even though I do not like where I am currently, I still love who I am, okay? You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to be where you are. You do not actually have to be anything to love yourself, to show yourself love, to engage in the act of loving yourself. Loving yourself is not just a feeling, because yes, love is a feeling, but love is an act. It's a noun, it's a verb, it's an adjective, it's many things. It's a lot of things all encompassed into one. You have to make the decision to do these things. And it is very, very hard. I understand this. Trust me, I understand exactly how hard this is, but it is also the most important thing, at least in my opinion, because it is the groundwork, it is the foundation, the frame of everything else. Nothing in this world came to be without love in some capacity. Somebody loved architecture, so they started building things. Somebody loved plants, so they started gardening. Somebody loved color, so they started painting. Somebody loved math, so they created calculus. It's all a language of love. It's all rooted in the language of love. So the first step to learning how to really, really love yourself unconditionally, that's the point. Unconditionally loving yourself means to hold love in a place where nothing else can dictate how big it is. You know what I mean? I feel like I didn't say that very well. Yeah, so to unconditionally love yourself is to hold yourself, basically, hold yourself and love yourself despite and in spite of everything that you do not like. There are no conditions. There is no earning it. It just is. It has to be something that just is. There is a lot of nuance to this. There are a lot of external circumstances and situations that people are in that are going to dictate what this looks like for you. But in the next part, I'm going to just give a couple different practices, things that you can practice to facilitate the rewiring of your brain to see yourself as somebody worthy of the love that has always belonged to you. Okay, so now that we've gone over all of the details, the context for today's lesson, I'm going to give you some practices that you can do. Now, I'm going to give you another disclaimer, the same one I gave at the beginning of today's lesson. This is not for people who want instant gratification. If that is what you want, again, that is okay. That is fine. That is where you are right now. But this is not for you. This is for people who want something that lasts, something that is real, strong, and structurally sound. This is what we're doing here. I will not give you a quick fix. I will not give you a pipe dream to follow, something to just aspire towards because, it's just going to keep you distracted. I'm not going to do that to you because I love you and I respect you as a human being. I'm not going to do that. This process is going to take some time. It is going to require you to have some patience. It's going to require you to have some compassion. It's going to require you to have some will. You're going to need some will to do this. This is what we talk about when we say that love is work. Not that love is hard, it just requires some effort. This is the effort that you're going to put into it, and it's going to give you something even greater in return. Reciprocity is all about it. The first step is take a sweeping look at your circumstances, at who you are, at where you are, and accept it. You're going to practice first just accepting where you are. You don't have to like it. You don't have to do anything with it. Just accept it. This is where I am right now. This is who I am right now. I accept that. But I also accept that I want to change, that I want these things around me to change. Once you have grounded yourself in that acceptance, the best way I found to do that is just by showing gratitude. Okay, you can start with I like but. Or no, it's the other way around. This is what it is, but kind of. Does that make sense? For example, I am not currently making the money that I want to make right now, and I accept that, but I do want it to change. I accept that I am not in a relationship right now. I accept that. I do not like it, but I accept it. But I do want it to change. Once you have accepted it, you're going to practice gratitude, okay? I accept that these things are the way that they are, but I do want them to change, but I'm grateful that I am here because as long as I am here, I can do something about it. Acceptance and gratitude are your first steps to unlocking unconditional love within yourself, and then which will in turn unlock it in somebody else. It's like levels to a game. Think of it like a video game. It's like there's levels to this shit, okay? There's levels to this shit. Once you have accepted where you are, once you have been able to express genuine gratitude for the things that you have, who you are, even just the small things like, oh, I'm grateful that my eyes can see. Even if the vision is not that clear, I'm grateful that my eyes can still see. Things like that. Then what you're going to do is practice loving. That's the hard part. It's like, okay, I don't like this. I don't like where I am. I don't like who I am at the moment. But I still love myself. I still love who I am. Because if no one else is going to love me, I might as well do it. I might as well. This is how you rewire your brain. It's going to take practice. I will hammer this into each lesson as long as I need to until it is firmly implanted in your subconscious. Practice. It doesn't make perfect, but it does make things better. Trust me. Anytime you see something about yourself that you do not like, acknowledge it, accept it, show gratitude for it in some capacity. Find a way to find gratitude for it, and then express love for it. This will change your brain. The physical pathways in your brain will start to change, but this takes time. It takes practice. It takes patience. These are things that are important, and you cannot override them. You cannot skip the steps. You cannot just jump to the next thing. It's kind of like that little children's riddle rhyme thing that we had in nursery school, where it's like, can't go under it, can't go around it, can't go over it, gotta go through it. You gotta go through it. Go through it. Go through it. Persist, persist, persist. Persist in spite of everything. I don't care. I don't care. Despite it all, you must persist. And in doing this, not only will you start to develop this unconditional love for yourself and find it in other people, you will also save your own life, especially if you are depressed, especially if you are in the midst of deep depression. This will save your life. No doctor can save your life. No medication can save your life. No friendship, no relationship, no external validation from anyone around you can save your life. They can help facilitate the process. They can help you along your journey. They can offer support, absolutely. But the only one who can save you is you. You are your biggest responsibility. You were given this life. It was handed to you. In whatever way it was, it is yours. It is yours. It belongs to you. Cherish it. Cherish it. So many people lose their lives. Are you listening to me? So many people lose their lives. Cherish yours. It is yours. It belongs to you. Take control of it. Take control of it. I love you. You love you too. I know you do. This video was a little bit longer than the other ones, but I needed to get this out. So the next video is going to be answering a question from one of the other videos that I posted, because I want to be able to interact and personally help people in the best way I can. So like I said yesterday, I'm going to try to answer at least one comment with a video each day. So that's what I'm going to do next, okay? Love you guys. See you tomorrow, or in a few minutes. Whatever.